Hello and welcome to TalentSprint. In this session of Polity, we are going to discuss the Parliament and Lesson 3. Okay, so in this session of Polity, we shall discuss about the different types of bills which are introduced in Parliament and State Legislature. Tell me, what is a bill? Why do we need a bill? Okay, so first, bill is needed. What is the basic function of a legislature? To make laws. So in order to make a law, first I need to introduce it as a bill. Then when the parliament passes it, it becomes an act of parliament after the parliament has passed it and the president has given his assent, that is signature. So why we need all these bills? Because we need, for the welfare of the people, we need laws. So for the welfare, we need to implement these laws by the executive. So first, laws are made by the legislature. So there are different types of bills which are categorized into 4 categories. Okay, so those are, first we have ordinary bills, next finance bills, next money bills, and constitutional amendment bills. Okay, a bill becomes an act when the 2 houses of parliament have passed it separately. Okay, they have to pass it separately and the president should say yes for the bill. Okay, then only it becomes an act of parliament and it is published in the statute book of the parliament or government of India. Why we need laws? For the welfare of the people. So it is a parliament or the state legislature which makes laws for the people. Okay, the ultimate goal for a law is for the welfare of the people, for establishment of peace and for the development of the people. Okay, so moving on to the first bill, that is ordinary bill. So what do you mean by ordinary bill? Why it is called ordinary only? Why it is not called extraordinary? Okay, so ordinary bills means if we know other bills, we can know that whether it is ordinary bill or not. So what do you mean by an ordinary bill? These are concerned with the any matter but except financial matters and constitutional amendment matters. Okay, except the bills which include financial matters and the amendment of the constitution, these bills come under ordinary bills. Okay, moving on to the next category of bills, that is money bills. So what do you mean by money bills? So it includes the disburse of money, right? Like we have wallet, the government of India also has wallet. What is that? Consolidated Fund of India. Okay, so what do you mean by this Consolidated Fund of India? So all the incomes of the government go into this wallet and all expenditures go out of the Consolidated Fund of India. Okay, so when I talk about this Consolidated Fund of India, that is a money bill. All money going into the Consolidated Fund of India and all money coming out of the Consolidated Fund of India is a money bill. Okay, which is mentioned in the article number 110. So it says it includes financial matters like taxation, public expenditure. Okay, all the loans taken by the government of India are included into the money bill. Okay, and there is a note. What is that note? If a money bill is not passed in either of the house, either of any of the house of parliament, or if president rejects this bill, it results in the fall of the government. No money means no developmental activities, no salaries for the government officials. Okay, so defeat of the money bill in any house, or if the president rejects this bill, it will result in the defeat of the government itself. The president will call for new government formation. This is a very repeated question in many general studies examinations. Okay, so moving on to the next type of bills, that is financial bills. So what is the difference between money bill and financial bill? So money bill includes the money going into the Consolidated Fund of India and going out of the Consolidated Fund of India. So if I talk about remaining financial matters except money bill matters, such bills are called as financial bills. Okay, if I don't talk about Consolidated Fund of India and they are into the financial matters, then these bills are called as financial bills. Okay, and the last category of bills is constitutional amendment bills. So what do you mean by constitutional amendment bills? So as the name says, they are for the amendment of the constitution. That means I want to make changes in the constitution now. What do you mean by amendment? Amendment means I am modifying the constitution. That means if I add any letter, if I delete any letter, or if I modify any even word, that is called amendment. Even one letter also, not only word, that is called amendment. So constitutional amendment bills are meant to amend the constitution, change the constitution. Either addition or deletion of anything in the constitution is constitutional amendments. So I need to move constitutional amendment bills. So these are the four categories of bills which we have for both parliament and as well as state legislature. Okay, moving on to the classification of bills and their variables. Okay, so when we see, there are different set of articles. So first article for ordinary bills is article number 107, and for money bills the article number is 110. The definition of money bill is mentioned in 110, and the definition of finance bills type 1 is mentioned in article number 117 clause 1, and finance bill type 2 is mentioned in article number 117 clause 3, and constitutional amendment bills are mentioned in article number 368. Okay, and coming on to the recommendation of president. For ordinary bills, the recommendation of president is not necessary, and for finance bills type 2 and for constitutional amendment bills, recommendation of president is not necessary. So for which is it is necessary? Only for money bills and financial bills of type 1. Okay, remember this is a very repeated question. For a money bill, recommendation of president is compulsory. Okay, and coming to first introduction. So it is first introduced in, for an ordinary bill it is either house, either in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, and for financial bills type 2 and for constitutional amendment bills it is either house. And important here is, for money bills and for financial bills type 1, it is introduced in only in Lok Sabha. Okay, first it must be introduced only in Lok Sabha. Coming to the maximum time limit for Lok Sabha to pass a bill. So generally for all the bills the maximum time limit for Lok Sabha to pass a bill is 6 months. We have already seen the sessions of parliament. Between two sessions of parliament, the maximum time gap should not exceed 6 months. So that's why the maximum time gap for a bill for Lok Sabha is 6 months. Coming to Rajya Sabha maximum time limit. Okay, so it is 6 months for all the bills except money bill, because budget is a money bill. We have discussed in economics. Budget is called as annual financial statement. Okay, so the maximum time limit for Rajya Sabha for a money bill is 14 days. Okay, so this is a maximum time limit because Rajya Sabha should not stop the budget. Why? Because the Rajya Sabha people are not directly elected by the people. Okay, so if they stop budget, there will be no money for the government. No money for the government means no government itself. They cannot carry on the government without the money for developmental activities. Okay, coming to the presidential options. So what are the options available for different bills for a president? So for ordinary bills, finance bills type 1 and for finance bills type 2, he has 4 options. What are those? He can say yes for the bill, he can reject the bill, he can send for reconsideration back to the houses, and he can keep the bill in his pocket. So what do you mean by keeping the bill in his pocket? That means he will not take any action. There is no time limit for the president to give his signature for any bill. Okay, and when he sends for reconsideration, if their houses reconsider and send it back, he has to give his assent compulsorily. Okay, And coming to the constitutional amendment bills, he has to give his assent compulsorily. Okay, he has only one option to give his signature. And coming to money bills, he can say yes or he can say no. If he says yes, it will become official budget of the India. If he says no, that is rejecting the bill, the budget will stop there itself and the government will be defeated and the president will call for new government formation. Okay, as far as examination is concerned, money bill is very important. And what about joint sitting? What do you mean by joint sitting? So whenever there is deadlock between two houses on any bill, they will sit together. The president will call for a joint sitting under article 108. Okay, so we have adopted joint sitting from Australian constitution. We have seen in the previous sessions. Okay, so what about joint sitting? It is available for ordinary bills, finance bills type 1 and type 2 only. It is not available for money bills and constitutional amendment bills. Okay, so these are the major differences between all the bills. They are submitted both in parliament and as well as state legislature. Okay, in the state legislature, the governor's assent is needed. Okay, and some bills are kept for the recommendation of the president by the governor in state legislature. We shall study more about state legislature in the coming sessions. Okay, hope you are clear with these differences of various bills. Okay, so we shall meet in the next session. Thank you so much.